Hi, everybody. Welcome to Module 5, Managing Daily Operations. My name is Sinead Dowdy. I am the co-owner of Honey Soul Food, and we are a really cool soul food restaurant out in Mississauga, and we are home to the best cornbread in the world, I think. So, when we're talking about inventory management, let's talk about what does that even mean? Inventory management in the most basic terms, it is seeing what we have in store or what we have in stock and figuring out what do we need in order to be successful. What is the importance of inventory management? Well, the best way to be successful is to make sure that you have what you need. And the best way to do that is to manage your inventory. Inventory management is also important because you're talking about costs. You're talking about things that cost you money or the business money in order to have on hand things that will bring you money. You don't want to be overstocking, but you also don't want to be understocking. Effective inventory management, it enhances your operational efficiency. You want to make sure that you're operating at your best. It's also easier in life. A couple techniques that we do when it comes to inventory management is something that we all know. It's called FIFO. So first in, first out. So that is essentially making sure that the things that went in first are the things that are leaving first. That involves rotating products. So like if you're putting in a box of milk, make sure the milk that was there first goes to the front. It's also about checking dates, stuff like that. And it's not only something that you have to do, but something that you also have to teach your team to do. When it comes to us at Honey Soul Food, we deal with real-time management. So essentially what that means is that we make everything made to order. We don't have a lot of wastage when it comes to our restaurant. We can have overstocking, but we control that when it comes to trends and forecasting. We have everything listed out that we keep in store, including stuff that we don't keep in store. For example, with things with catering, everything is on that list. And then we've separated it where we have what do we have in stock, what do we need, and the last column are quotas, like what we typically use. So for example, if we go through 3 bags of flour a week, I currently have 1 in store. That naturally means I need 2 more. And so we've made it foolproof, almost. We also use CRM in order to make sure that our inventory management is effective. So CRMs are customer relationship management systems, and it's stuff like your POS. Clover. So we use Clover to take a look at trends, take a look at forecasting to see what sales are like throughout the month, throughout the week, throughout the year. For example, if we did a certain number Easter last year, we're expecting to do the same thing Easter this year, plus more because of how we grow. We wouldn't know that unless we used our CRM systems like Clover. Along with CRMs, it's also very important to use your human resources. So I'm talking about our teams. Our teams had to be trained when it comes to inventory, and it's not only how to use the jot form that we use, but also keeping an eye out on things, seeing trends, making sure that our inventory is also reflective of catering. You have to manage your team. It's sad to say, but it's something that you always be managing. You instill your dreams and your futures into your team. But just like you, everybody has an off day. Sometimes just asking a simple question. Hey, you put 6 bags of flour instead of 3. What's going on? Oh, Sinead, we have to send out 15,000 cornbreads this week. Okay, cool. That makes sense now. I get it. So managing your team, managing your list is always important. We also have to keep in mind that not everybody will have human resources. Sometimes you have resources that are based out of technology, like ChatGPT. You'll hear me refer to chat all the time. That's what I call it. I call it chat. But essentially, if you don't know how to create a policy or how to create an inventory form, chat can take care of that for you. You can literally just type into chat, hey chat, these are the items that I have in store. Can we make an inventory list on it? It will blow your mind what chat gives you. Blow your mind. When do you do inventory? We do inventory every single day. It could be something as simple as mentally keeping check. You can have a whiteboard where you're writing things down until you do your full inventory. But at Honey Soul Food, we actually do inventory twice a week standardly. And if it's a week that's a little bit above normal, we do it more. But your inventory calls for the days that you do your shopping. And in the restaurant industry, it's best to do it beginning of the week and kind of midweek so that you're prepared for the weekend so you're not running around. So let's talk about customer relations and how that works into your daily operations and the importance of that. Customer relations varies based on the type of business that you are. When it comes to us, for example, we are very front facing. So our customer relations physically start from the moment somebody walks through our doors. It physically starts from they park in our parking lot. We make sure that all of that, even though the cleanliness of the parking lot is a reflection of who we are as a brand. Build that relationship with your customer. It's very important, and your customers will bond with your brand more because of that. When you build that relationship with your customers, they turn into your brand ambassadors. And those are now people that will vouch for your brand, that will spread the word on your brand, that will literally become your marketing team that you actually don't have to pay. Invest in your community. And your brand ambassadors don't also only have to be your customers or your clients coming in, but it's also your staff. It's also your team. Your team are trained brand ambassadors, and we know, like in-house, all of our team, their friends love coming to Honey. Maybe it's the 10% that they get off, or maybe it's the extra special discounts that they get from their friends, but they love our food and they will be on social media and stuff talking about our food. Your Google reviews and your reviews on social media do affect how you can run your everyday business, and it can shape how much business comes into your business. Really bad habit of mine, I actually don't respond to all my Google reviews. And it is something I will never recommend. Take your Google reviews and respond to every single one of them, even if it's something as generic as, "Hi, thanks for coming in. I love that that was your experience," or "Hi, thanks for coming in. I apologize that that was your experience." A lot of people on Google want to feel interacted with. So even though, bad example, I don't respond to all my Google reviews, I've read every single Google review that has come in, and I've made every single change that needs to be made. Your Google reviews are important. The way people are viewing you on TikTok are important. Stay in constant communication with your customers. Let's also keep in mind that not every moment will be a good moment. Problem solving. That is something that you have to factor into your everyday life when it comes to being an entrepreneur and owning your own business. I always say, if it's not one thing, it's another. There are ways to go about it, and everybody has their own way. Listen to what's wrong. Listen to what's wrong. Don't just listen to respond or listen to fix. Listen to actually make a change. A lot of times when there is a problem, sometimes your customer just wants to be heard. They just want to be able to tell you what's going on, and they love having access to the owner or the top manager versus an employee. When we're not having a good moment, listen to the problem and then fix the problem. Whether it's going to be a fix that happens right then in that moment, or it's going to be about putting the proper procedures in place to make sure that what happened does not happen again. When it comes to problem solving, it's not only a fix for the customer, but it's also a fix for you as an entrepreneur, for your team, for your brand. It's about taking accountability, being authentic, and self-awareness. You need to recognize where there are gaps within your brand and finding ways of filling those gaps with cement. We had a very interesting Google review where somebody left us a 1-star Google review because somebody on my team was just wearing an all black shirt versus a shirt that said Honey Soul Food on it. They weren't under the impression that they worked there, even though they were in the kitchen cooking. That just goes to show I'm very lenient when it comes to uniforms. I tell my staff they can wear something all black as long as they're wearing on some shoes, or they could be wearing a Honey branded shirt or sweater. And when you're talking about daily operations, keep in mind that it's also very important that your team is representing your brand and that they look good while they're representing your brand. So even though the customer was, in my opinion, a little dramatic with the 1-star Google review, they're actually very right. Our team should be reflecting our brand at every moment in time and looking good in a iron shirt and just always brand forward. So keep that in mind when it comes to daily operations, making sure that you have enough uniform on hand for your team for the days that, they didn't do laundry. And you'll hear me talk. I say a lot of we's. I say a lot of we's instead of I's. Language and ownership is so important. I'm coming from a space where I started my business by myself. It was very much I, until I got a business partner and I had to reteach myself how to take my I to a we. But even if you are a one-person business, it is still we, because you are still wearing multiple hats. You are marketing, you are inventory management, you are HR, all of the aboves. Emphasize the we. Plus, a we is a lot more powerful than an I. So each of these areas that we spoke about today, it focuses on building a strong foundation for operational success and positive brand perception.